Alright, what is going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel, Connor Unchained. So, I want to pull up some things today. We got Bitcoin is having a great day, but I'm going to just give you guys reasons why I could be somewhat skeptical of this move today. Little things on what I'm potentially doing, and again, more meme coins, more altcoins, lots of different stuff, bunch of different updates here. So, we got Bitcoin still ranging, still just doing its thing, doing whatever it's got to do, right? Waiting for a clear break of structure to the upside. If we're looking at a daily, again, we can still see that momentum is potentially pretty strong still to the downside. But, as far as any consistent, strong downtrend, it looks like we are on the verge of seeing some sort of structure break to the upside. And the reason being is, we saw lower lows, lower highs, another lower high, another lower low, into another lower high. But as far as for this move so far that we've seen, we have not broken the previous structure. We've actually started to move to the upside. So depending on what happens, we potentially may be in the realm of a fairly strong trend reversal. And why I say that though is I think it's kind of a pivotal area where I think if we're going to see Bitcoin have some strength here, I think it's going to be from now in the next couple days, where even just this simple trend on a daily, if we could get some clear breaks. Let me just delete the other thing here. If we can get some clear breaks of this area to the upside, if I can click the right key, that is going to be very good for price. And in my opinion, that's going to give a lot more bullishness for Bitcoin. Because again, it's going to be just a battle of how many resistances can this break right now. And depending on macro factors, but we got the Fed meeting tomorrow. Which the thing is I personally think this Fed meeting, everything going on with it, is going to be a sell the news event, whether it's bullish or not. Most of the time things like that it just seems to happen more often than not. Whenever there's a major catalyst to move the market to the upside, no matter whether it's very bullish or not, many things seem to just sell off, whether it's even for a short span of time or, they just continue to sell off for a while. But that being said, again, I think that's why we're getting a big move up. I think Larry Fink was on some news network or something talking today about it. And I think we're seeing people pricing in this Fed move right now, which may be a reason for, a nice major candle, right? But usually when you see a good candle like this, it's kind of broken above the previous 2 days worth of red. So it is having a nice push. If we can end the day around 61K, I think that's actually going to be really bullish, going into the next day. But, the main thing I'm going to worry about, again, is if we see this major area get a heavy rejection or if it gets a heavy push to the upside. I think that's going to be a very clear factor in what is going to happen as far as the next probably week or two in the market. And the reason why I say that is because if we do see a lot of downside, like just over the next 3 to 4 days after this Fed meeting, then we may see another pump down, a little bit of a dump. Do I know how low we're going to go? I'm not sure. Very hard to tell. But again, for very short term, as in the span of over the next week, if we get rejection and the Fed meeting is a sell the news event, which it probably will be, we may see Bitcoin chop around. It's probably going to try again at least 1 or 2 times to break this general area of resistance. But if we still keep coming down multiple times like we see here, but again, we still got a full day, a couple days to see if this is going to hold or break. But if it comes down, tries again, it's probably just another sign that we're going to keep rejecting and we're probably going to see another downside swing. At least in the short term. Again, I am a hyperbole in bull markets, guys. I think at some point this trend is going to break very heavily to the upside. At this point we just got institutions buying like crazy OTC Bitcoin. It's like at this point price is just being suppressed. It's waiting for, I don't know if it's just another couple catalysts to take it, or just literal, this Fed meeting and more. But at this point, I think it's just criminally undervalued for all the bullish things going on in the market. So that's what I'm gonna be watching, is just depending on what Bitcoin price does after tomorrow. So, but like I said, if we for some reason just continue to pump like crazy over the next few days, maybe we chop, and then in 4 or 5 days we're back at 62, 63. That's going to be somewhat bullish, at least for a very short-term upswing. Especially if we can break the resistance here at 65. If we eventually over the next week push up, hit a nice area here, and then start bouncing down, I think that's going to be a clear sign of a trend reversal. So from there, we're probably going to see Bitcoin go to 65, 66. If we remain bullish in the short term, come back down. It may come down a little bit, but then at that point we may actually start moving back up. So that's kind of what I'm waiting for and watching. So currently this market has just consistently been watching it day to day, seeing how it plays out. Outside of that, guys, we got a lot of majors having good moves, showing strength. I don't really talk about this coin too often, Sui. I don't know what it is, but I have been liking this project a lot lately. So this is a high cap, newer L1. I think this ecosystem is incredibly undervalued currently. Even the meme coins on it, I think, especially when Sui kind of gets more attention. This probably is going to have a nice run. Do I think it's going to go, do a 20, 50x from here? Absolutely not. I don't know. But I mean, to see this at a minimum $3 to $5, once we get a lot more, momentum going in the market, yes, this is probably going to break highs. Easily, I could see this at $2.50, $3 for a high cap, newer L1 bet. Seems pretty strong in my opinion. Another one I do like to cover a lot is Ondo. I talked about it for months when it was, and I'm telling you, up only back here. Let me just replay. Guys, when you see a chart like this, again, this is on a daily. When you see a daily chart just have consistent upswings, and what I mean by upswings is just look at the price action. Like, price never really breaks below its previous levels and consistently drops. When it just consistently makes stair-stepping, higher highs, higher lows on a higher time frame, to me that is a clear sign that at some point this has got to correct and come down. I've been waiting for this for months, and it has finally happened, over the last 2 to 3 months, right? Because then if we just play it out, actually just play it, you can kind of see the trend here. I mean, this was the trend before, but, kind of broke through, tried to come back up, and then you can just see what happens here. Just does not, and then it fails, has that huge dump. And from there, that's where it just starts to trend sideways, comes back up, goes back down. And that's where it is currently. So I think being tied to BlackRock, Ondo is a clearly strong bet for RWA coins. Another one I do love, I still love IXS and Soil. Great bets in my opinion. But I mean, even just on Ondo, we got general momentum heavily to the downside here, right? But where's the RSI? This is as simple as looking at divergence. You don't need to use 50 different indicators in crypto. I know some people do and they're successful with it. But me personally, I use mostly price action, which other than RSI, I use the RSI because in crypto, it's very, very easy to pinpoint when a coin's momentum is starting to slow down. The RSI is usually a great factor, at least when it comes to higher time frame stuff. And I'm talking about on the daily and 4 hour. Those are great. It's a great, very simple tool. And if you guys don't know what divergence is, it's when price action looks like it's going in a downtrend like this, but the RSI is showing a clear, strong swing to the upside. Because what it means is that the RSI is basically trying to tell you that it's probably going to price in another move to the upside, but yet price on the actual chart is showing that it looks like it's continuing down. So if we remain bullish over the next few weeks, Ondo will probably have a nice swing back up, maybe to about 80 cents to a dollar, I would guess. But again, if, like I was just talking about, if Bitcoin decides to just start rejecting that area of resistance and dumps after tomorrow for the next couple of weeks, then yes, a lot of coins are not going to be holding their support levels. Things are going to probably come down a little bit more until we do finally see a clear break of, trend and resistance on Bitcoin. Mog's still the top meme coin in crypto, in my opinion. Still holding up, looking good. NKI is finally showing strength after being completely bottomed out now. But you can kind of see the same exact thing with the RSI. Where like momentum generally looks like it's just making lower highs, lower lows, right? Momentum's heavily to the downside. But where's the RSI showing? It's showing a clear, upward strength. So we might see NKI go back to about a penny and a half, if we get that consistent strength in the market, right? Because to me, in my opinion, it seems like a lot of coins are they're not even going too much further down anymore. They're just going sideways, waiting for that catalyst or that major move in the market to just push everything to the upside. Another one too, it's like I like SETI a lot. I think this has a lot of potential. The same thing. All these coins are kind of just waiting for confirmation to, start really running again. But outside of that, we do have meme coins. I'll pull up deck screener. Lots of meme coins still holding up, looking very strong. Another one I've talked about and I called initially in Discord about over a month ago. Coin that I really do like, a low cap meme coin, is Inu. All the way down here. Initially I called it when it was bottomed out. I still expect this. Maybe it has one more higher low to make. It may come down a little bit. But once we get more momentum back into the meme coins, I think this has a huge run ahead of it. Holding up very well. I cover lots of different culture coins. Lots of dog coins. Lock-in is still just ranging, kind of range bound. Still, I think anything in this general area is a good accumulation range for lock-in. Aura, same thing. Aura is a coin that I've been waiting to jump into for a while, and for about a month now, it's been sitting at really, really low entry. So again, same thing, kind of just accumulating in this range. Yes, to a lot of people you might think, well, bro, this coin's dead, it's bottomed out. But a lot of coins, they look like they're bottomed out, but when they have really good mind share, usually they'll probably have another run up. And I still think Aura has a lot of potential. Lots of mind share on Twitter. Even Michi as well. Michi has a great meme coin, in my opinion, for a cat coin. This community just will not give up. That's kind of what like a cult community is. They're basically just holding this floor. They do not want to see this coin, just end and give up. They're not selling until this is at a new high. So same thing, just accumulating. You can kind of call it now even smaller of an accumulation range as of August. But in general, just in a big accumulation area, in my opinion, until it starts to move back up, flip bullish again. But same thing. I think lots of coins are just at unbelievable discounts. We had like Nero coin. I don't think, honestly, I don't like any of these Nero coins, guys. There are too many of them. All of them are just taking mind share away from like one true winner, especially now with Binance listing multiple Nero coins. I don't know what they're doing there. And then to see a CTO, a Nero CTO sitting at 10 to 15 million in market cap, get listed on Binance over so many other good meme coins out of nowhere. I don't know what is happening over there anymore. Like, it was really random. Especially over like the other Nero coin. I think it already had a bunch of listings, but this is why I just say, when you're dealing with coins like this that have multiple of the same coin, whether it's across different chains or there's just two, three, four of the same token, um, I personally, I just stay away. Unless you're really lucky with buying a certain one, that gets a listing like that. It's super high risk, and I don't know. I think it's super. It's just hard, very hard to be like, especially catch the right one, basically. You know, I remember, and also initially, we've had lots of new launches as well. I'd say over the last month. Husby was a great play. Initially, when I first made a video about it, did very well, and it's still holding up. But I'm actually surprised that this is not fully, had a huge correction. It looks like it's finally correcting itself, which is what I've been waiting for. You can just see, again, kind of like I talk about in other videos, wow, if you see a coin that's just consistently up and down, especially in a higher time frame, and has not had a major correction yet, it will have a heavy correction. So I am betting that this is probably going to, drop at least to about 2 cents at some point. Maybe it flatlines, kind of settles. Most projects end up doing that no matter when they launch, how they launch. But Husby from launch was a coin to watch. This had one of the most successful new launches I've seen in a long time. Very, very well executed, very transparent. Utility is pretty interesting as well. Twitter presence very strong. Lots of great factors in why this was a very successful launch. And when I mean that, when I say successful launch though, is again when we got in way down here, somewhere around here. Even though, I called to sell after a 2 or 3, maybe 4x on this. When we initially got in, after just a couple weeks of just letting the team do everything, ended up, having a really good run. And the lower that we got in, I don't remember, I think it was 6 to 800K, somewhere like that. I don't remember what the price was. But, bottom line, just had a great run. And usually some of the clear winners at a certain time, they will have great runs like this by just letting the project deliver over the span of a few days or a few weeks. That is where, like, finding real gems, especially when they launch, it's obviously very high risk, but you can make some really solid gains by just being patient and watching the team deliver. So Husby, just easily one to watch for. I mean, again, I don't think it is a buy at current levels at all. I would not be buying it here because it's going to be coming down from here and then probably going sideways for a while. So I would not be buying here, but just again, from when it launched on day 1, day 2, into about 2 or 3 weeks after, beautiful run, beautiful execution. But outside of that, that's mainly what I wanted to cover. Just show you guys a little bit about the market, what I'm watching, paying attention to with Bitcoin, altcoins overall, and meme coins too. Like I've been doing in Discord, which, I've been really honing in on a full out new launch strategy. Because, guys, I think ETH utility projects, for me personally, are some of the most fun projects to be jumping into very early and finding. It's probably one of the most high risk things you can do in crypto. But again, finding new launches, and especially when we're in a very bullish sentiment, those are the kind of times where you legitimately can find 20 to 30, 50x, gains on projects. It's like one of the greatest short-term calls I had when AI coins were booming again was this coin called the Net Tensor. This had an unbelievable run at the current time, in a span of about 2 weeks. Same thing, I called to sell out of it way too early, but if the group held, this could have been a minimum 20 to 30, 40, 50x call. I don't even know how high it went. Looks like it's not even loading right now. But anyways, it's, to me, it's just the most fun thing. Extremely high risk. Like, I just don't recommend anyone, if you don't know what you're looking for and you don't have a strategy, I would not just be aping random tokens that are launching that are brand new. But that's kind of what I focus on here in the Discord. That's what I will be focusing on once we get way more bullish with momentum. But outside of that, guys, I think it's still time to just be accumulating absolute gems of projects like some of the ones I showed you. Just buy and hold, be patient, and wait this stuff out, because I still think the best is yet to come. And I've seen across the board on Twitter and stuff, sometimes I forget, it's kind of like a, not a rule or a law or something, but someone invented this idea where 80% of the gains come from the last 20% of the cycle. Meaning that from when you actually start to jump in, most of your gains are going to come from the last 20% of the bull run, which I think is very, very true. Lots of coins, obviously have run up, come back down, but if you ever look back into 2021, all those alts, same thing. They moved up and down for a while, until late 2021, everything just boomed. We had massive launches, massive projects just pull, 30 to 50 X's in the span of a few weeks, that were already large in market cap. So most of the gains come from that massive time frame of max euphoria with altcoins. And I still think we've yet to fully experience it this cycle. We got a glimpse of it though at the beginning of the year, but still have not seen Bitcoin, break into real major highs, nor have a massive price discovery, move yet. And I'm still betting on that happening. So I still think going into the next few months, even 6 months from now, we're gearing up for incredible moves across the board. So that's what I'm watching here. And outside of that, I appreciate you guys watching. I will see you in the next video.